Hi, I'm Molly and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a pretty miserable video as it is June, but the weather is pretty horrible today. So we are in West Midlands on the border of Staffordshire. So we're going to a show called Cars in the Park, which is run by the Rotary Club in Lichfield. Now, we've never been to the show as a club before, so I'm admin for the West Midlands MINI owners group. Never been to the show before as the club, only ever been as an attendee. So we've got a really small club stand, we've only got 10 cars. Because of the weather, we've had one classic drop out today, which isn't too bad. So as a club, we have mixed minis, so it can be modern classic minis. And we've got one classic today, and then the rest are mainly modern minis. So let's see what the day holds. We're currently at McDonald's, which is our meeting point, so I could hand out the tickets. And let's see how the day gets on. It is on a field, so it's at Beacon Park, which is just basically a big grass field made up of football pitches. So we're gonna see how the day goes on. As you can hear and as you can see, it is pretty rainy today. So yeah, let's see how we get on. So we're just queuing to get in now. We've just got this pass that we have to put in the front of our screen that says we've got a club stand pass. So I'm at the back. I think everybody's just queuing to get in now. So hopefully it shouldn't take too long, probably about 10 minutes or so to get in. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So we're here now, typical car show. This happens quite a lot. Someone else had took our space, but the guys from the Rotary Club that are organising, they found another space for us. So we've just managed to squeeze in, even though there wasn't many of us today. So it's fine, so we're here, so let's have a look around. So on the club stand, we had a Mini 5-door, we had a Mini Electric, a Mini Clubman, a Mini F56, along with my F56, which is a Challenge 210. We then also had a R53, which you can see in the background there, as well as the R56, which is a WC50, Sam's Classic, that's Sam's friend's car, and then Adam turned up in his Classic later on. They're both later classics, so they're 90s classics. So even though the mini stand was predominantly modern minis, there was still that variation, and of course we only had 10 cars in total. I've already mentioned that we run a club stand and there were other club stands in attendance, and they ranged from club stands all of the same kind of make, club stands which really varied. There were quite a lot of Fords in attendance, whether that be classic or newer Fords, but as a club stand as a whole, they really did vary. wasn't just club stands, people could individually display their cars as well, and that really did range from classic cars to new cars and supercars to modified cars. And it wasn't just cars, there were vans, trucks, campers, old army vehicles on display, even things like this modified hearse. So there really was so many different things on display for everyone to see. I think the show is so diverse because it's quite low cost entry, so it's £5 to display your car on a club stand. I imagine it's pretty similar price to display your car individually. To actually enter, it's donations, so whatever donation that you want to put in the pot, and then to buy a parking space on the Beacon Park, then I think it's £5 if I remember rightly to reserve parking from last year. Um, so yeah, again, it's quite low cost for the size of the show that it is. So one good thing about the show is it has loads of new cars. So if you're a family looking at a new car or kind of haven't had the time to go into the dealership, then they have got loads and loads of new cars here. So they've got a range of Vauxhalls, Fords, as you can see behind me here, and they're just open so people can sit in them, and obviously have a look at the boot space on there as well. So that's one really good thing about the show. We've got like all the finance examples, so people that are looking to buy a car that aren't going into the dealership, there's some really good examples on here as well. As expected, there were local organisations and businesses in attendance, such as the Staffordshire Police were there with a stall, and so with a local fire service. It just gets people obviously speaking to their local communities, and then also kids can have a look in the police car or have a sit on the fire truck and take photos, which was the same when I saw it last year, and that went down quite popular. Then there were other businesses, so like Staffordshire Signs and Wraps. There were stalls selling food. There were local organisations like Andy's Man Club, Howden's Insurance. There were some local businesses selling their products, detailing groups, and of course there was food and drinks as well. So there was quite a varied amount on display. And then you also had, for example, this local organisation where you could see the wild birds like owls, kestrels, and then they have a arena section in the middle.
where people can go and drive in that have got interesting cars, and then they tell you all about them cars and their ownership on the microphone, so people can go around and listen to that.
So we're just leaving now. We've actually had a really good day. The weather managed to stay dry in the end. So we did have a couple of showers, but they weren't too heavy. The show does go on till about 4 o'clock, but we're just leaving a little bit earlier, trying not to run anybody over. Oh, I beat my dad still. I don't think there's enough to see to kind of stay for the whole time, but definitely had a good day. And if you're local, definitely recommend going along and having a look, because it is free to attend. They just ask for a very small donation towards the charities that they do the event for. So yeah, if you're local to Lichfield, then I definitely recommend heading along to Cars in the Park to take a look. If you're not as local, I'd probably say it's not a big enough show just to make the journey for, really. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, then please make sure you do, as it is very much appreciated. Thank you very much.